Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Behringer. And today I have, generally speaking, a layout update, and the actual theme for today is going to be basically some general knowledge. It's just a little bit of everything. There's basically some layout update stuff, there's some new additions, and just a little bit of bits and pieces of what else I've been up to. So since we're in town, we're gonna start off at this end, and then we're going to work our way back towards New Shop. So the first thing about town that's changed is I went to Model Railway exhibition today, and I picked up a lovely little Eddie Stobart vehicle. My first one. I know there's lots of people who are a huge fan of Eddie Stobart. I particularly don't mind them. I'm not particularly overboard over them, but it was a nice model, and it was a nice price, and it will go very well with the Oxford diecast. See, this one's from Atlas, and the other one I have is the one from BRS, which is down the back there, which you can see down there. So it's the same size. It's very nicely detailed. It's got its lights, it's got registration plates, it's got its mirrors, and then that's from the back. It's a curtain-sided lorry, so it's very nice. Moving along, we have another new addition down here, which is this little VW camper van. So that's an Oxford diecast. I like the colour actually. It's nice, really in-your-face lime green. But that's the sort of colours that they came in, and it's very nice. So my town scene's kind of getting a bit crowded, a bit congested, so we're going to have to start sending some vehicles elsewhere. But I like it, the fact that it's quite congested, it just seems populated. I've just got to get some people and stuff. I still haven't got round to putting the conifer trees or the traffic lights that I bought from PD Marsh, so that's on the things to do list. Here we are over at B&Q end. And basically some of my work over the next couple of weeks will be here, because I've actually got some time off from work, some allocated holiday, and when I get this time off I kind of like to get really the heavy duty kind of work out of the way during this time, so all those little scenic pieces I could do on my odd days off here and there, but when I've got this sort of particular time off, then I'd like to get some of the heavy duty work done. So what I've done is I've messed around with this part of the layout of the track work here. As you can see, the embankment was here as before, but the tunnel mouth that's here has now disappeared. I've relayed this bit of track also. There was a bit of a kink in the track, which meant that some of the bogies used to rise on here and they wouldn't sit on the rails properly, and I had an issue with one particular loco constantly derailing along here. So whilst I was at it, I've just sort of flattened it out. I've redone the electrics along here and soldered that, so that's all now running properly. I've added this point here. I've added this point here because this point here is now going to run off to the final section of the branch line to Mordenston, and we'll get onto that shortly. I've now really trying to crack on with the Fiddle yard. That's really where we're at now, and that's purely because at the moment my main running lines are stored with VEPs and SEPs and things like that, and DMUs, and basically it just limits the running capability, because of the way that the VEPs and the SEP in particular are connected, and I don't want to keep pulling them apart, so I just leave them all connected permanently, but they're just sitting on the main line. So I really wanted to crack on with these next 2 weeks to really try and get the Fiddle yard done. At the moment we have 4. I finally found a home for this freeway point. That's been giving me so much aggro and grief, but because it's here at the forefront, and also because there isn't going to be any ballasting on that, if this point does give me grief, it's not going to be too much of a problem for me to sort it out. But thankfully it's been alright, and basically at the moment, if you can count that one, we've just got 4 lines all the way down to the very end, and that is just over about, I think, 7.5 feet, or just over that. It was around 7.5 feet, or give or take a few inches either side. And then it looks like, and this is a point that I'm sort of trying to work out the rest of the track plan as it goes around the end. Now I'm still hoping to do the original track plan, which is basically to have another top layer on top to create even more storage. But basically at the moment I've got 3 available, and that will at least give me a chance to sort of run some trains and part some trains up this end, but I haven't finished it, which is why there's nothing here yet. So one of the things I've been doing is I've just been using this track spacer to make sure that the spacing between the tracks is even and straight. So, and that's how the and these are picked up from my local locomotive. I think it's about 50p or something like that. So yeah, it's really quite it's a useful little tool, this. I've added some isolating points here, but I haven't drilled the holes for them. It's just literally laid yesterday. This is, like I said, this is an area that I really want to cover and get on top of over the next couple of weeks whilst I'm off, because that will really allow me to put some trains out and allow me to just, instead of taking trains out of boxes, they're already going to be here ready to use and ready to go. The plan for Mordenston, which will be the final end of the branch, so the actual branch will run from Newshot to Mordenston. So this is the point here, and it will run along here, back down here, along here, and then it will sort of drop down to where these to where the wood is, all the way down to the end. And at this gap here, that there's gonna be a bit there between there, and Mordenston, the final station, will be slightly lower elevation, and it will be in this sort of section here. And then hopefully that will give me also some more storage for some DMUs, so because my DMU collection is rapidly growing, so that will kind of free up some space from up here. So that's kind of where we're going to go with that. But because it's quite a big job, I didn't really want to do it on just an odd day off, so now I've got these 2 weeks off. Well, we're now down to just over a week now. Hopefully we're going to crack on with this and get a lot of this done, so we can start running some trains and have these trains parked up and not just have coaches just sitting in corners and gathering dust. So that's kind of the plan, really. So here we are back at Beringer, and just to show you what I mean, you've got the VEP and the SEP both blocking the main line because they haven't got anywhere to go. So that's one of the reasons why I really want to get the Fiddle yard sorted out, so I can get these out of the way so I can do some running sessions and things like that proper. Because at the moment my running sessions are kind of almost limited to sort of and the branch line. I mean, I've got these sets of coaches here already, and they're close coupled. They've actually got tension locks at the moment, but I'm going to put close coupling. But again, I didn't want to keep pulling them apart, so I wanted them permanently connected as a consist. So that's why I wanted to get the Fiddle yard done. So that's one of the things to do over these next couple of weeks. Also, I've been making up wagon loads. So this is something else I've been up to. So there's about 5, and then there's another one at the top. Up here we've got my 47, which is in the last running video, but it highlighted a few issues with my track work. So I've been sort of doing some engineering work to make sure that the track works good. And this is particularly, out of all my locos, probably one of the more picky of my locos, that if it doesn't like something, it will just come off. So I've been sort of using this as a bit of a test loco. So basically, if this loco gets round, then pretty much rest of my fleet should be relatively okay. One of the other things I picked up from an exhibition today, and it's nothing terribly exciting, but it's a very useful piece of kit, and it cost me nothing. One of the exhibitors I got talking to, and I was asking him about one of these, and it's basically an uncoupler. And I did originally make one, so you just lift it, and I asked him where he got it from, and he just told me that he made them himself, and he just let me have this. So it's very nice of him, and it's basically made out of, I think it was a coffee stirrer, he said. So it's very nice of him to give it to me, and it's going to prove very, very useful and very, very handy. It's just one of those unsung tools that nobody really talks about, but it's very, very useful. Moving along, we're going to show you and introduce you to my latest recruit, Sparringer, in terms of loco. Here it is, 47001, and this is a Bachmann Class 47 in the BR blue livery with small arrows in a weathered state. And I only just got this morning, and I got it off the old internet. I went to my local model shop, but the price was a bit more and I wasn't in a hurry for it, so I was prepared to wait for it. So I managed to get this at a decent price as well, not the normal store price. So I think I saved about I think it's probably about £6 or £7 off the retail price. So yeah, it all helps. So I'm really pleased with it, and it runs nicely. I haven't really I've tested it, so it does run. I just haven't really run it in yet. So that's the last bit. So for the last part of this layout update, we're at the Coffee Hill site, and as you can see, it's more wood down the end. One of the big things I've done, and this is what I was talking about earlier about my Helgen 47 being a bit picky, the track work here is quite tight. Unfortunately, it can't go through the wall because it's not my home, and I have to go around the framework of the window of the kitchen, of the door frame. So basically what I've done is I did some track laying yesterday. I took up all the old track from this point here down to the very end where it bends into New Shot. So all this section here between there and all the way down to the end here has just been relaid, and that's just to improve reliability and track running really. Also, I've just added some more, I've added some bushes. I had some more fencing that went right up to the end, but that was kind of hanging off, and I thought I'd try something a little bit different, so I've done that. So basically Offord on the Hill station's just had a bit of an upgrade. Also the same here, I took the fence that was on the edge here, I took that off and added some more bushes and that comes down to there. Also all the ballasting's been done, and also added some greenery along the back of the fencing. Also just added a few bits along the side. The track work generally looks a lot better to look at, and it's also, because it's one length of track, it's also improved the reliability of it, so it's not constantly derailing. Like I had the Helgen 47 had this trouble, and I also had it with a DMU. So that was a nice little job. It didn't take too long to do at all really, and it was a job that needed doing. It was on one of my things to do list, so I finally got round and I can tick that off my list. One of the other things that I'd like to do, which I will be doing very soon, whether it be today or tomorrow, is I'd like to get the car park done, and I'm probably going to put like a brick wall perimeter along the back there. So that should hopefully just improve the general look of the station, which is what I really want as well. So once that's done, that's going to just improve generally the look. I'm going to get some people for this as well, and that will kind of tie up Offord on Hill nicely, might just bring it to life a bit. Also I've got I want to get some people for this, maybe a fisherman or something like that, just sitting here at the pond or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So thanks for watching. I've got a friend coming over tomorrow actually who's going to help me out. So I'm hoping that we might get a running session together tomorrow, maybe. If so, you will be watching it and you will be seeing it. But in the meantime, I will love you and leave you. And I hope you like what you've seen, and any comments, suggestions or thoughts are more than welcome. So just please feel free to let me know, and also to subscribe to my channel also. Thank you very much. So bye for now.